Hi folks, in this video I want to show you how you can get set up with EventCatalog Chat, what it is, how you can use it, how you can configure it, and then how you can talk to your architecture through natural conversation. So what is EventCatalog Chat? EventCatalog Chat is the ability to, guess what, talk to your architecture like you would with other chat models that you have, which is pretty interesting and some pretty awesome results from that. So what do? The first thing you want to do is head over to your catalog. So I'll open up an example here. And as you can see, this is just a demo catalog that I have out the box. So what I'm going to do here is go to the event catalog config file. And there's a couple of things that we have to do. First thing, we're going to set up this generator. So this generator here will actually install the embeddings. Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to get the files from your catalog and we're going to create embeddings for them. Embeddings are used by the model to actually do vector searches. Okay, so we do this on build time. So if you change your catalog, you probably want to rerun the generations as that happens. So this actually has a couple of options. You can find this in the documentation, but you can split markdown files if you want. So when this is true, what will happen is it will take your large markdown files for your resources, your events, and your services, and split them by headings and things that kind of make sense. Okay, so you have more embeddings, more kind of fine-grained results in your chat, I guess. You can turn this off if you want and experiment. That's really up to you. Include users and teams. So I set this to false. You can set this to true, but if you want users and teams within the results of your chat. Now, I found playing around with this, it's better results. You might get better results if this is false, but again, it's entirely up to you. So what's going to happen? First, we're going to run the generate command. So let's just do that. So we open a new terminal here. And I'm going to run npm run generate. What this is going to do is going to go through the process and it's going to create the embeddings for us. This actually uses LangChain and memory embeddings on your computer. So nothing really too fancy going on, no kind of external requests. But we create the embedding successfully. Now, what does that look like? That's actually stored in a file here, which you don't really care about or need to know. But if you're interested, we have the embeddings JSON file here, which is all just numbers, zeros and ones and whatever else, okay? So Event Catalog will need this in the client to then do its thing. So let's move on. What else do we need to configure? We actually need to configure the feature itself. So what we can do here is actually say, okay, we're going to enable it. We can turn it on and off depending on your use case. You can actually select models, and I'll talk about this at the end of this video, but you can actually choose which models you want. I selected this one. This is the best kind of experience that I've had with the models. The models are actually loaded into the browser. So this is a 3B model, so it's probably about 1.5 gigs into the browser. But once it's loaded, it's cached, okay? So you can also opt into 8B models, bigger models, smaller models, and just experiment. Whatever works for you, you can have the freedom to experiment here. We have max tokens if you want to do anything else. Then we have the results. How many results from the vector search do we actually want to put inside of the catalog questions? So the higher the number here, the kind of slower it will take, but the more fine-grained results that you may get. I found that this model with 50 kind of works well for me in my catalog, and this probably defaults to you if you're interested in this feature. So that's it. You know, we set up this, we create the embeddings, and we do that. Now, the really cool thing is here, we can actually chat to our event catalog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this catalog and then head over to the browser now. So that's just starting. So let's head over to the browser, and this is the catalog that we see. So if you're used to Event Catalog, this you might be familiar with. If you're not, this Event Catalog is a tool that allows you to document your architectures, event-driven architectures, but also kind of RESTful-based architectures or microservice. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. But we have this new feature down here, which is the AI assistant. So we click on this, and now I'll walk you through what's happening. So let me just create a new chat here. So the first thing that happened there was I initialized the AI model. Now what's going to happen is it's going to download this to your browser. I have already downloaded, that's why it's fast, because it caches. This is using Web LLM under the hood. The really cool thing about that is all these models are local and private first. None of your data is sent to the servers, to any servers. It's all in your browser running things locally. Now this is really cool for like companies that are sensitive with the information, and catalog probably for many companies has sensitive information in it. So we can keep this thing local in the browser. Now the really cool thing here is we can actually start talking. We say, okay, hi, what domains do we have, right? So Event Catalog has the concept of documenting domains and services and messages and things like this. So based on your context, remember the embeddings, this is what we've done. So I changed it. I created this UI and this feature, but this allows you to, it also links things directly. So I can click on these things and go directly to the context in which it's telling me. Well, we can see here we have 3 domains, the orders, payments, and subscriptions, and then we have them here too, which is fantastic. Down here, I added this feature where it's like reference resources. So as you chat to your catalog, it'll go inside your embeddings and your catalog itself. And these are the things it's kind of found related to your query. And I thought I'd put them on there just in case anyone wants to dive deeper into this stuff and click and that kind of thing. So next question is, okay, what services are in the subscription domain? Right, so as you start to explore this, you can imagine your developers, your architects, your business stakeholders to actually just get hold of this feature and just start asking these questions. Being able to go from like what the hell is going on in this architecture to actually finding things out can actually be quite useful, I think, anyway. So this is really cool when we can dive deeper in things like that. But other features, other use cases would be, okay, well, I'm trying to create a new feature that sends emails when a user payment has been accepted. Okay, what messages do we already have? So if you think in your use case, you've got developers, you've got hundreds of messages, maybe thousands, and your developers want to quickly find things that make sense to them. Okay, so like, do we already have stuff in this architecture that can provide value to me and my team today? And the answer to that is, yeah, probably, but how can you find that? It's really, really hard. But when you've got the context in Event Catalog, and we use that context to power these models, we can actually click in and actually dive in and see the events, right? With the payment process, this kind of sounds interesting to my needs. So now I can dive in and start looking. I can start looking at the visualizer. I can open the visualizer. We can dive in and see exactly how this event is used in what context. We can see payloads of the event schemas. Remember, Event Catalog is actually technology agnostic, so it doesn't really matter. This could integrate with any broker, any technology, open API specs, async API specs. So what this allows you to do is actually drive the catalog, the content from any broker, any technology in kind of real time too, believe it or not, and actually have these models work, which I think is fantastic. So there's plenty of use cases, plenty of things you can try, but it's probably the best bet right now is to go and try this out. So the question is, how do you get started? And what I suggest you do is head over to EventCatalog.dev, which is the website. And you'll see here, we've got this features up here, the AI assistant. Click on there. You can read some stuff if you're interested, try the demo, or get started. So the get started will introduce you to these and the things that I spoke about in this video. And then if you click on models, you can also see the models that you can use. Now, the models I experimented with that work fairly well are these models here, the Llama models, this Llama model here actually. But you can use DeepSeek models, you can use Llama, you can use Google models and other types of models here. So it's a fantastic project. This is all powered by Web LLM. You can actually, this is like a high performance in browser models. So just to share that quickly, it's everything you're doing is in the browser. It's on your machine and it's local. And I think this is really, really cool way of introducing LLMs to a privacy first, kind of a local first mindset. So anyway, if you want to have a play, head over to eventcatalog.dev. As you can see here, head over to demo, and then you can start chatting yourselves. So I hope you find this video interesting. If you've got any questions, feel free to come on Discord. You can find a link up here or comment below and I will answer that. But hopefully this is helpful. Next things on the roadmap for this feature would include things like bring your own keys. If you want to use models that are based in the cloud, we can do that. Just bring your own keys and we can kind of use them as and when. So hope you found that useful and thank you for watching. If you're